Okay, so there's something that I have been thinking of, or thinking about. I can't even talk. So, I see this a lot, and it's something I always, this is bugging me. I can't handle it. There's like no room in here because my space is a disaster. Okay, so I see something that I think is a little concerning, and I'm hoping that maybe you guys will let me do some like minorly tough love. And yes, that's Avengers Infinity War in the background that you're probably hearing because it's summertime and the kids are here, and sometimes you just let the TV babysit them for the sake of your sanity. But I see this tendency to take these amazing tools like the DISC assessment, and instead of taking that as something that's measuring what we might have a bent towards, it's our like natural tendencies. There's like this thing where people are taking it as a license to not have to do or be something, or letting it define them. So maybe you're like me, and this really tends to only apply to people that have like a very definitive like high score or low score in a particular area. Like they could be like, oh, I have no C, and so I'm not compliant, or you know, I'm not detail oriented, or I don't care about facts or whatever. Okay. I am super extreme. I either score within like 5 points of the highest or within 10 points of the lowest. So I have two that are almost, one that's 100, I'm 100% D, 94 I, and then like 3C and 12S, or it's flip-flopped. I can't remember which, but it's really, really super drastic. But here's the thing. That tells me what my natural tendencies are. That doesn't define me. It does not mean that because of that, I cannot choose to live my life being compliant to policies and paying attention to facts and caring about details. And the fact that I am so low in S doesn't mean I'm not supportive, or I don't choose to build that into how I operate. Being 100% D does not give me license or tell me that I must be a big fat D. I choose not to operate like that. Being 94I doesn't mean that I can't or won't stop and absorb information if it's not conveyed how it's the most convenient for me to absorb it. Your DISC assessment is there not to give you license to be crappy, not to lock you in a box and say this is all you are and this is all you can be. It's so you can know yourself. You can know where you're strongest, and you can take off and fly in those places, and so that you can recognize where you have weaknesses and you can work harder there. I know and I recognize in myself that I can have a tendency to be over the top and too blunt and too factual and too to the point, and so I'm careful not to operate like that. I recognize the tendency in myself to maybe, you know, say something in a harsh way, and I choose not to because it doesn't serve me, and it doesn't serve my purposes, and it doesn't serve those around me. Now, am I glad that I've got that in me so that it's there and I have that capability? Honestly, it comes in handy sometimes. Yes, I am. And I am glad that I can like be, I like being I like who I am. I like all of that. But you know what? I also love that I'm not limited by what my tendencies are. And I can also be ultra detail oriented and build systems and like services and things that support, speak to all the different needs and areas. And like, that's really exciting to me. I think that that's perfectly marvelous and perfectly wonderful. And so I know that I'm saying, hey, I'm using myself as an example, but it's because you would look at my disc assessment and you would look at me and my life and you'd be like, that doesn't make sense. But that's because it doesn't account for choice. It doesn't account for the Holy Spirit. It doesn't account for me deciding that's not how I choose to always operate. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily stretch themselves or expect more of themselves than that, but you can. You are not limited by what it says on the paper. You're not limited by Myers-Briggs. You're not limited by Enneagram, however you say it. You're not limited by any of these tools that are designed as personal development tools. Not a personal limitation tool. It's not telling you the sum total of what you can be and what you can achieve. It's giving you insight into how to continue to develop. Now, maybe you're listening to this and you're on top of the world and you're at the top of the game. There's no room for growth inside of you. And so, not inside of you. You are number one in every area of your life that you want to be number one in. Then keep doing what you're doing. Because clearly, I should be listening to you right now. But if you are somebody that has a really drastic score and you're like, well, this is just who I am, and you do want to achieve more, and maybe you want to be more successful, then maybe don't tell yourself that, well, I'm a D, that's just how I am, that's just who I am. Because is that working that great for you right now? Are you maybe being too abrasive? Should you maybe slow down and think about what you're saying and how you're saying it and how you're being perceived? Sorry, my dog. Maybe you are a high I and everything else is below your energy line. And you're at the very top of your game and you're like, no, this is perfect. This is exactly what I should be doing. Then why are you still watching this? You probably got bored like 4 minutes ago. You should be off doing something else. And that's really cool. But if maybe you need to learn something, or maybe you need to implement something else into your business, or maybe there's an area where you want more success, then maybe you should sit down, shut up, and tune in and read whatever's going to get you to the next level. I know you can do it. It's just a matter of realizing, oh, I can do it. You can do it. You can. I promise. Maybe you're a high C and you see the flaws in everything. Well, if your success is just way up here and that is working for you, then it's working for you. But if there's areas where you still want to see more success, then maybe stop worrying so much about these things that the ducks aren't in the row. Maybe they are, as my friend Kristen likes to say, ducks at a rave, but maybe you just make the best of it and you go forward and you do it anyways. Maybe you see all the things that aren't right and you just decide to focus on what is right and make that work until you're in a position where you can improve those things. Maybe you are a high S and you just really need certain things to be able to move forward. Well, if that's working, great. But if it's not, kick your own butt off the ledge. Maybe sometimes you just suck it up and do it anyways. Maybe you do it alone. Maybe you just do it, you and Google, and you guys figure it out. Yeah, I know that's not your bent. I know that, and I'm totally stereotyping right now. But that's because those of us that are the really drastic ones, the things that the people I'm really talking to, it's because we're stereotypes. It's all really true. It just is. So I'm not gonna pretend it's not. But maybe you just figure it out because that's what you need to do to be successful right then. And maybe somebody isn't going to hold your hand or spell it out for you, and maybe you're gonna have to make a decision really, really, really fast. And then you really hate it and it sucks. And yet it's exactly what you need to do to get to the next spot. I don't know. I just wanted to throw this out there because I just think there's absolutely nothing wrong with laughing about I'm so this, that is so me. It's true. It might really be you. It's just that it doesn't have to be you. And it's not all of what you can be. It's something to have fun with and joke with. Yes. And then it's something to absorb, find the truth in, and learn from. Yes. But it's never something to give yourself license not to grow. And it's never something to hold yourself back with or make excuses with or anything like that.